Okay, guys. Um, first of all, congratulate yourselves because you're going to take this hour to give back to yourself, to give you a little knowledge on how to handle yourself in the street. Also, give your body a little bit of a workout tonight, but best of all, give you a basis for what's going to be going on over the next week in your classes. All right. So, just to put this in context, this is the second class, the second week of the 5 weeks of takedown curriculum. All right. So we went through 5 weeks of escape curriculum. And if you'll notice on our website, I've been changing the last couple days. There is a place that says curriculum. It's password protected right now. As I load up the videos, I'm going to send out the password to you guys. I think it's like have fun right now. It's nothing big. And what's up, Miguel? Good to see you. Jess and Aaron, good to see you guys. Chris Visco. So, guys, I'm just saying that the website is now starting to change. And these classes this coming week will be loaded onto the website. And the website will be broken into a few different sections. It'll be a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Beginner will be white belts, seasoned white belts, and newer white belts, and that's what this class is. And even a beginner blue belt. And what it'll have, there'll be a section for escapes, and all the escape classes will be on that section. There'll be a section for takedowns. All these classes will be on there. As well as you start to look in some of the advanced stuff, it'll all be open to you if you want to look at it. There will be our entire curriculum will be on that site. So the curriculum has 6 sections, and each section has a block of 5 weeks. So we are in our second week. Takedowns, escapes, guard play, submissions, legs, and passing. All right. So just to put that in the context, you guys will be able to get to the website in a couple days. That being said, Yuri's going to help me out today. So let's get started in our situation of what we're doing. So I just want to put this into context. So last week, what we went through was that you're hanging around and someone starts to approach you with some strong energy and you start to notice. And what do you do from that? Well, you immediately go from a normal stance, which is a square stance where you're just talking, and you immediately start to go to a staggered stance. That'll put you a little bit on a better balanced footing, and it'll give you ability to step back if you need to. And then from there, we also talked about creating distance, that the safe distance is 2 arm widths apart. All right, that's when you're safe. All right, 2 arm widths, not 1 arm width. 1 arm width will take you away from the punches, but not the kicks or the takedowns. So you want to start to measure 2 arm widths apart. And at that moment is when you're starting to look and see and look. And what does that person have? Does that person have a gun? Does that person have a knife? Does that person have anything in their hands? So that's where you're looking and seeing what's in those person's hands. If they have a gun, you're definitely not running. You're definitely talking and working to have empathy and talk the situation down. If they have a knife, then you start to judge how big that person is. A huge guy with a knife, you're probably going to run because you're not going to take that person out. You don't want to spar with that person. You want to get out. Now, if it's a fast person with a knife, you probably want to start to talk that person down. All right. So in this situation, this person doesn't have anything. All right. Now, what do you start to gauge? Someone my size, like Yuri, I'm probably not going to run because they're going to catch me unless I'm super fast. If it's someone bigger, I'm probably not going to be able to take that person down. If I have a Jeff Alexander coming at me, I'm probably going to take off because he's big. I'm going to be able to, if I'm not fast in a straightaway, I can maybe get around a corner or get away. But if it's someone your size and you start to look at that and they don't have a weapon, this is a scenario where you can draw them in, all right? And from there, you can stop, All right, back up and go ahead and penetrate, drop, and penetrate. All right, so we talked about this last week. Last week, we got to the point we were actually penetrated. So what I'm going to show you guys today, I'm going to do a little review of last week because it's such a bridge to what I'm going to teach this week. And then from there, I'm going to show you guys 2 takedowns that are modified from a wrestling takedown, modified to eliminate the danger of a jiu-jitsu match. Remember, wrestlers are taught to take people down and put them on their back, but there's no submissions in wrestling. But in life, there's submissions. So if you use a wrestling takedown in a jiu-jitsu match or a regular fight, there's a lot of danger in that. All right, so we want to remove that danger. So I'm going to teach you 2 modified finishes, modified takedown finishes that you can use in a street fight or in a competition jiu-jitsu match or in your rolling. All right, so let's come up. And guys, do me a favor. If you see that you can't see something or we're out of focus, please take yourself off mute and just start to say, hey, move around. Let's go over this way. All right, so first thing is, scenario is I'm sitting talking and someone starts to come up on me, and that person is, I can notice that that person is coming with some bad energy. All right, so first thing I do is I need to change into a staggered stance from a square stance. Everyone saw the old guy that got pushed down in the protest. He was in a square stance. He did not know how to break fall, and he hit his head. That's exactly what we want to avoid. Obviously, he was a 75-year-old man, but that can also happen to anybody, right? If they're in a square stance and they get pushed back quick enough. So someone starts to come at you, you want to change from a square stance, you want to change to a staggered stance. All right, first thing. And then from there, that will give you the ability to start to back up slowly. Or it would also give you the ability to turn and run if you needed to. All right, it's going to be harder to turn and run from a square stance. So initially, someone starts to come into my space that looks dangerous. I'm going to change into a square. And then remember, distance. All right, this is just a quick review. Hold on your arm for me. 2 lengths distance is what I want to keep. Anything less than that, I'm in a danger zone. So I'm either going to be 2 length distance or I'm going to be really close. Close is safe and far is safe. The danger zone is that middle. So I'm going to keep my distance by backing up, backing up, backing up. All right, let's get back here. So back up, back up, back up, back up. As that person comes towards me, all right, what we talked about is I'm going to use his energy against him. So the more that he's coming towards me, and this is something, guys, I use in almost every one of my jiu-jitsu matches. Yuri can tell you if he's been to my matches. I don't start the fight aggressively going after the person. I start by running away. Why? Because that gets them coming towards me. It gets them frustrated that they can't get me. There's a, yeah, who's that? Leandro Lowe is good at that. He's always staying away from them. Matoya, the guy that, there's a couple MMA guys that are really good at this. Getting away from the opponent. What does it do? It gets the opponent more aggressive, and the more aggressive they get, the more opportunity opens up to you. So this is a concept that's throughout jiu-jitsu. All right? By drawing someone in, you staying safe and having them expose themselves is going to give you opportunity. All right? So they're coming towards you. All right? And then as they're coming towards you, all right, I decide to stop backing up and I come forward. All right? Remember, we did a step. We did a drop. All right? I'm going to use my hands here just because when you do this kind of slowly, it's better to use your hands. Otherwise, you know, your knees kind of hurt a little bit. You're going to drop to your knee and you're going to come up. All right? So back up, back up, back up. Step, drop, drive, step. All right? Back up, back up, back up. All right? Step, drop, drive, step. So guys, let's just do that a couple times on your own because I want you guys to get used to this movement. So back up, back up. All right, back up, and step, drop. Notice I'm dropping my hips, not my shoulders. Drop. All right, 2 hands on the mat. Drive your knee, your front knee goes. Step and drive. Yeah, you want to go check it out? See what we're doing? I'm going to do it a couple more times. Step back, step forward, drop, drive, and step. Yeah, Dennis, you should know this, right? We just did it. Let's see it, Kyle. Good. All right. Anyone want to watch it done right? You guys can see Kyle on there. Nice, Matt. Good. See it, Rob. See it, Tommy. All right. So, guys, this is what we did up last week, okay? Drawing them in, drawing in, step, drop. Remember, you want to drop with your hips. You don't want to drop up here. All right? Drop with your hips. All right? And you want to keep your hands up. You want to keep your hands up and drive. All right, so here, I'm going to show you the finish now, okay? This is what it looks like. See it again. Okay. So, I'm going to break that down. So, I'm doing my back step, then I'm coming forward, I'm dropping, and I'm driving forward. Now, most wrestlers want to take the guy to the mat, all right? The problem with taking a jiu-jitsu guy to the mat is as I take him down, look what's there. There's a choke right there. So we're going to modify this. And instead of taking him to the mat where I'm on top of him, I'm going to stay up. So you always want to take people down and you want to stay up unless you're passing immediately. Otherwise, you can fall right into their guard, which is tough, or you can fall right into the guillotine. All right? So how are we staying out of the guillotine? So again, my hand's going to be high. All right, I'm going to back up. And as I come to him, I'm going to come to him high. All right? So remember, I'm coming forward high, so your hands are up. That's going to have him try to greet my hands. And as he goes to greet my hands is when I drop. And most the reaction is he's missing me here, and I'm underneath here. So I'm going to take, my head is to the side. My hands are behind his legs or behind his knees. Okay? All right? And as I step up here, all right, instead of going forward, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the knees up as I drive my shoulder into his belly button. So I'm going to pick up, I'm going to do it nice and slow. And this foot, look, this foot back here is just going to come up to a square stance. Now I'm here and I'm going to pick up. All right, so it's this kind of motion, guys. Back, step. Look at my hands. I'm high. Drop, drive, step. Now, here's where you have to be key. If you step forward and keep going, he's going to fall back down. You're going to step back into a square stance. And from here, you are going to pull your hips straight and pull up. All right? So this is what it looks like for a solo drill. All right? I'm going to show you guys on this angle. So, he starts coming towards you, back up, back up, back up. Step forward, look at my hands nice and high. Drop. All right? Now, for the drill, I put my hands on the mat, but if I'm actually doing the move, I'm just driving forward. Grabbing behind the knees. And now I'm going to step, And instead of stepping forward like a wrestling stance, all right, Kyle, you're going to step into a square stance. And now I'm here. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to suck the legs in as I pull up. And that's going to drop him to the mat. And it's going to enable me to stay away from the guillotine and also being in his guard. All right, as a blue belt, I didn't know this, and I got stuck in a lot of guards, and I had to fight out of a lot of guillotines. I'm going to show it one more time, nice and slow. All right, so I'm going to show it on this angle here. Step back, step back. All right, step forward to engage, drop. All right, that's the angle that I was talking about. Straight and then drop. Straight, drop, in. Look at my hands, here. My foot's in the middle. My knee's in the middle. This is on the outside. Now I step into a square and I suck up. All right? I want to show you guys where my knees are falling here. So check it out. As I step, I'm going to step in the middle of Yuri's legs. Check it out. Middle, drop. So look, my knee, the one that I drops in the middle. This is on the outside. Step to the outside, step to the middle. See where I am now? Now he tries to put a guillotine on, and he's down on the ground. All right. So I'd like you guys a couple times on your own. I'd like for you guys to drill that on your own, where you're backing up, stepping in, dropping, driving in, and then from there pulling back. Man, I like that. He's got like a box he's taking down. All right, let's see it, Mike DeMeo. Let's see it, Chris Rushing. Yeah. Chris, you can use your hands on either side. So if you don't want to stress your knee out, you can use your two hands. Let's see it, Big Donnie. Step. Yeah, see, Don, that kind of can hurt your knee. So I don't want you guys, especially if you're new, I don't want you dropping here and just dropping to the knee. That's going to hurt your knee. You got to drop nice and low, and use your two hands nice and gingerly. Come to the knee and then come up. If you're doing this live, it's going to be like this. But when you're doing it slow, when you're first starting, this is kind of awkward. So use your hands as a little pivot, and then you come up. Especially on your size, Don. Drop. Yeah, there you go. Use your hands, though. Use your hands when you drop, Don. And the hands will also remind you that you have to drop at the hips, guys. Step. Look, drop at the hips. Look, I'm dropping at the hips. I'm not dropping at the waist. At the hips. Nice, John. Now suck that up, John. So suck it up. I want you to step back with your knees. Look, as you suck this up, you're jumping back with your knees. You're going to suck and jump back. Let's see it, Rob. Step. So, Rob, you got to make sure that you're going to your staggered stance, Rob, and your front leg of your staggered stance is the one that has to step forward. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Step back. Step forward, drop. See how that's tough for you to drop, Rob? All of you guys, I don't want you dropping straight to your knee. You got to get nice and low and then drop. All right, get nice and low and then drop. If you try to drop from up here, look. Ow! That sucks on the knee. Especially if you only got a yoga mat. Let's see, Walter. Nice. Good. Nice, Chris. Let's see, Kyle. Suck double, Kyle. Good. There you go. Okay, guys, 2 more times each person, and I want you guys to come in for questions.
Right here. Okay. One forward. Drop. No. Put your hands down. Low. Yeah, there. On the knee and then step that through. Left through. Yes. And then hold it.
Nice, Miguel. Good, Miguel. Good. Okay, guys, bring it in for questions.
How wide are your feet when you drop down?
So they're wide enough that your knee is going to be in between that other person, and your outside leg is going to be on the outside. Okay, so basically, they're just balance wide. They're balance wide. So if Yuri's standing up here, all right, if I'm off balance here. So I'm going to drive, look. One knee's here in the middle, and the other knee's on the outside. All right, so just about a little less than shoulder width distance apart.
Professor, could you do that again from this angle, just you, so I could see where your hips are pointing?
Side angle?
No, the front.
Yeah. Here you go. So step back, step forward. Look, step forward at the same height. Step forward, here's my drop. Drop, drive. Front knees down. Come here. Now here's where I'm not going to go all the way forward. I'm going to a staggered stance, and I'm yanking up.
Okay.
All right. Now, guys, realize that this situation is from no contact. Okay? This is going from all the way far out to all the way in. None of this applies if someone's able to grip up with you. All right, so that will be a whole nother class when I teach you. Once you grab the grips, all this goes out the door. So notice, I'm taking someone coming after me and I'm keeping distance. They're not able to grab me. Okay, Aaron, those guys who competed, Jeff Alexander, you guys understand that within seconds, all this goes out the door as soon as someone grabs your gi, right? Yeah, so this situation, I want you to think about in your mind, someone's coming after me and I'm keeping distance. So from the beginning, you have to keep distance. All right, that is what enables me to have this situation of entering and taking that person down because I've created distance. If they grab me, then there's a whole nother lesson to be learned from this. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
So this is no grip down from the outside, and it's me creating safe distance and then closing that distance. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
For the part where we're lifting the leg, should we be back like bent down and then lifting that up, or should we try to keep our back straight up the whole time?
You should keep your back straight until you change direction. So you're coming forward, and then at some point you come backward. Mm-hmm. All right, so it's kind of like you're coming backward first, then forward, and then coming backward.
Okay.
So when you come backward is when you change your posture. So it kind of looks like, remember, we're going backward. Now here's my good posture. I'm coming forward. Mm-hmm. And as I step this up, look, I have good posture. And then here, boom, I'm bending at the waist now.
Oh, okay. So it's as you're stepping back.
Yeah, so as you step up and back, that pull on his legs is all my waist.
Okay. Thanks.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
So, question. Where on that lead knee, when it's hitting the ground, where do you want that to be under his center of gravity? Do you want it to be right between his feet, or do you want it to be a little past?
So that's a really good question. And there's this kind of like, there's this space that's good that you can fall in between and it'll still work. Preferably, this knee wants to land somewhere within the range of his feet. All right, so let me show you what I mean by that. So if you look at Yuri's feet, if I land just here, I'm too far out. If I land all the way in, I'm too close and he can hit me back. All right, so I want to land somewhere between his toe and the start of his ankle. All right, so what that looks like is that when you're creating that space for that person, that's why you're doing the penetration, guys. And as you do this, you'll find out. If I start to penetrate from here, well, it's not enough, right? You know that. Where's his foot? It's actually not too far from my knee. But that little bit of space here, look, perfect. Right here. So that is a really good question, because if you guys have ever worked as, like, if you ever cooked something and you use like a spice, you use a little too much spice, it kind of ruins everything. You use enough, you use not enough, and it's not even a spicy dish, but you have that good amount, that range where it's like you could taste it, it's pretty good. So you're gonna have to get a feel for, as you're pulling back, that timing of it. And that's the entire nuance of this move. And for me, I call it taking candy from a baby, because it's just something that I've been able to use throughout my jiu-jitsu career in the beginning, and always within the first 1 to 2 minutes be able to, without a lot of energy, be able to get that takedown. And it's not something I actually use in wrestling that much. I used it later on.
No, I might. Why not?
So one of the things I've always done wrong on this one, and I always feel, I know I'm doing it wrong, but I feel like step too far with the first leg. So my second leg, almost the knee hits the ground. And I guess we don't do it a lot in the schools when we were back there, because again, you don't move around that much because there's so many people. But
yeah,
I never really got that timing down of where do you step, when they're coming towards you. I've always struggled with that a little bit. Again, I got to know the pieces, but the exact timing, I think, is where I've always struggled.
Well, I will tell you that most schools, including myself, they kind of like just gloss over the takedown part of the whole sport.
Yeah.
And then, the problem with that is that whenever you start, and even if you're a wrestler like Kyle or myself, if you don't learn how to work it, you're just getting gripped. So whether you're a wrestler or whether you're if you came from judo, that's a whole nother story. But you really have to spend, if you go out of balance, they bring you back into your feet. So you really have to know how to handle yourself. But it is I was telling this to Dennis O'Keefe, guys. Guys, welcome Dennis. He's a new student as well. I just recognize we got Dennis, who's a new student. We got Donnie, who's a new student. We got Andrew Fine, who's a new student. Naji also is on here, a brand new student. I opened up the website about 7 days ago, and we've got an influx of new people that are wanting to learn how to handle themselves in these situations that are going on all around the country, right? All right, guys, so I am going to move on. It's 7:29, and I am going to show you a variation of this move that Jessica or any person that may not be able to overpower their opponent can use this against a bigger opponent. And this requires less energy, but it also puts you in a nice situation. Alex, I see you here. You guys are eating popcorn. That's cool. All right, so this is a variation. So where do I use this variation? I use this variation when I have a bigger opponent that I know is going to be much tougher to take around, someone maybe like Jeff Alexander or Donnie, where I don't want to use a lot of strength, and I want to use their strength against them. All right, so that's where this concept comes in as well. So let's take a look at what that is. It has the same beginning. It has the same middle, but it has a different end. Okay, so this is what it looks like.
With the foot.
All right, let's see it again. Okay, so let's break that down. What happened there? So, if I'm going to get out of what Yuri's doing to me, I'm a big guy, right? Go ahead and do it like a double.
Sure.
So as he does a double, what am I going to do? I need to step my foot back. I need to create a what kind of stance? A static stance. Watch, I need to step back. And I'm a strong person, I may step back with this leg or this leg. I'm going to step back, and I'm going to start to sprawl, and he's going to try to pull me in, and I'm going to step back. All right, so I'm going to anticipate that step back, and I am going to put a pick. Those of you, Andy plays basketball. How does a pick work, Andy, in basketball?
Does the pick work?
Yeah, what's the concept of a pick?
You step in front to create a block so your teammate can come off your hip.
Yeah, so you know there's movement.
Yeah.
So you put a thing that stops that movement, and that holds that person up, right? That's a pick. So I'm going to create a pick behind that ankle, knowing that that person is going to want to pull their ankle back. So I'm going to create a pick behind that ankle, and that's going to cause the big tree guys to just fall like a big tree. All right, so let me show you what that looks like here. So same back up, drop, step. Now instead of taking this foot and stepping it up, I'm going to do something a little awkward. I am going to step it to the side. Here, let's show this right here. I'm going to close this up, okay? I'm going to step this to this instead of here. All right? I am going to step this a little bit to the side. All right? I'll sit right there for a second. This is the beauty of video. You guys can rewatch this because it's a little tricky. So I'm going to step here, and I'm going to drop my knee nice and easy to the mat. And what does that do? That blocks his heel, and he can't bring that back. Now look, with no hands, I'm going to take down Yuri. All right, I'm going to show it at another angle. Drop, step, hook, and now I just start to drive forward. And that enables me to be low on him. Look, I'm not up high where he can guillotine me. I'm nice and low by the legs. I'm down, but I'm nowhere near the guillotine. I'm also on this side of the foot, and I can easily backstep to a nice pass for that. All right. So if you're drilling this alone, step, drop, knee, hands. Here it is. Now guys, it starts on an angle. As I push forward, this is the awkward part. It's going to come here. And then all you have to do is push, and you're staying on your knees. His leg is caught in here. It's like a little mini submission. All right, one last time on this angle. Push. And as I push forward, the knee starts here. Watch, as I push, the knee comes to the mat. One more time on your own. Step, drop, hook, drive. Use your hands as a brace because it's a little awkward on the foot. And you end up here.
I got a
Who
question.
does yoga? What's this called for the yoga pose?
Pigeon.
Pigeon. Yeah, good. Yes, there you go. End up
Professor
pigeon.
Kevin. It's Migs. I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you do that pin, can you put the knee straight to the floor when you do the pin? Like,
No, because your knee doesn't really bend that way.
okay.
Kind of like on the side. You have to kind of gradually, as you push forward, you can do the pigeon here. But your knee up here, there's no way you're gonna be able to open your hip up that much. So you start here, and as you push,
Okay.
you push down into that. Yuri, what do you got to add to this?
And just one other thing, just to be safe, whenever you're shooting, you really should be tucking your chin as well, right? Shoulders up, tuck your chin.
Come back so we can see.
So whenever you're taking a shot, although this is a great thing, especially the second one, it really keeps you away from the guillotine because it makes it awkward for the person to reach for your neck. You still want to keep your chin tucked and your shoulders raised, and that makes it harder. Even if the person is already anticipating guillotine, it makes it harder to dig in. Okay, so you're shooting here and driving forward.
Yep. So as you're tucking that in, you keep your chin down, and your shoulders high.
And obviously that's more for when you're doing jiu-jitsu because the person's going for a guillotine.
Okay, guys, let's open this up for some questions from you guys. Let's see it, Chris. Let's see it, Chris Visco. He's like, oh. Step, drop, forward. Good. So before you tuck that dramatically, take the step behind. You know, take the step and then drop it kind of slowly with that left foot. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Nice and step forward. There you go. That's it. Then come forward. That's it. So, guys, I want you to think about this class as the introduction to this stuff. And I want you to realize that if I taught this in a regular class, what would happen is you go, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you go home, you'd be like, I'm going to use that. And the next time you come to class, you don't even remember what the heck we taught. And then you're taught something else. So I want you guys to realize that the format that we're using this is the beginning for it. This is the beginning of this context for you. If you're in the white belt class that we're going to be teaching on at next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, or this Wednesday at 7 o'clock, sorry, then this is what you're going to be learning. And it'll be a review. And so the other thing is that when you come to the school and you actually start training, or if you start training at home or whatever it is, this is going to be in a section of the website called Escapes Week 2, and you can revisit it. So what we're doing is we're picking the top 5 things to teach you at this level, and we're teaching it to you, and we're putting it in a way that you can access it. Now, those of you who've been at the school for a while, what's the difference of that and the way that we were doing it before?
I mean, I'll go. I mean, I learned at one point 10 different chokes. I can't tell you how to do any of them, but I can tell you exactly how to do every one of the 4 courses I learned. And I actually just figured out that leg thing that I was doing wrong. It's that one little piece where you say drop first. Drop first. I didn't drop first. I kept going forward first. And just 30 seconds ago, figured it out. If you didn't take that time, never would have gotten it. Would have gone another year, 2 years without getting it.
Yeah. And good. Thank you so much, John. That's the beauty, guys, that I'm learning. Like for business-wise, one of the biggest things I did during the last 15 years is I recorded a lot of material to teach painters how to do things, to teach managers how to do things, voice recordings, video recordings, and all that is just a wealth of knowledge that the staff now can go back to and look at. And that's what I want to create here for you guys, is the ability to go back to it for years. I mean, if I had that when I was learning jiu-jitsu, I mean, because you go to YouTube and you go on something, you don't know what to watch, and there's so much stuff out there. There's so much material out there. So this is the things that are distilled that I've decided are the best things for you to learn. at that stage of your jiu-jitsu career. And the cool thing is I have a wealth of videos to go back on. I have 5 years of rolling in Costa Rica. I've been going through all the different instructors' best stuff, and that will be on these rolling in the Adirondacks, all right? Some of Marcelo's stuff, some of Lucas's stuff. All right, so I want to see you guys, let's take this from the beginning. I want to see you guys on your own. I want to see you run through stepping back, dropping, and this vertical drop, all right? It's a step, all right? Forward, drop, and in. It's not a plane. It's not a plane taking a landing, all right? That's the biggest mistake people make. So you want to go up, drop, in. All right, let's see that. Nice, Aaron. And then after that, I want you guys to focus on the second one. All right. Ethan, do you have a place that you can jump on a mat? Let me see.
Good question.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool. Good, nice. Knee in the middle. So Rob, you need to finish that. That was like a sloth finish. Yeah, Rob, Morristown Rob, let's see that. Knee, step, step. You're gonna do a second step, and now you have to pull up. See your finish, Rob? Here, remember. All right, down, step, step. Here's your finish, look. Whoop, whoop. You need to get a pull-up. You need to get a pull-up. You really need to yank that finish at the end. Step, John, and John, you as well. I want to see a strong finish. I haven't seen a strong finish yet. Aaron Satwell, you got a strong finish for me? Nice, Jess. Jess has got a strong finish. Step, drop, good. Boom. Aaron's got a strong finish. Jess Dickinson.
No, not down.
All right, let's see it again, Jess. Tommy Thompson, let's see it. Let's see it, Don. Don, you got to lower your level more, Don. Use your hands. Don, I don't want you to mess your knees up, okay? Please use your hands on either side as a lowering mechanism. There you go, Dan. Good.
No.
Good. Nice, Don. You got a good, strong finish, Donnie. Matt Brinsdell is taking down that box, man. It's like, forget UPS. Najee, you with us? I know Najee's got to go to work soon.
It's not even. You want me to get it up here. It's just the ankle. It's just the fact.
Can you hear me?
Najee, we can go over this on Wednesday or on Tuesday or tomorrow, Najee.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere to practice right now.
No problem, man. You're just watching. That's cool. We go over it tomorrow when we meet.
Okay.
Guys, welcome Najee, another new student. Tough corrections officer.
Hello, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Guys, we got some Secret Service guys in here tomorrow. Just to let you guys know, we're working on doing a monthly course for law enforcement. It came to my awareness that law enforcement only get about less than 5 hours of actually ground training and all their training. So some of the police officers here, Yanni, some people have been in my ear. So that's one of the things that we're doing to try to help this whole situation is offer a free seminar once a month, open to police officers. It'll be open to you guys as well. All right, guys, let's open up for questions. This is your time to ask.
Kevin, the grips the grips behind the knee. You're going behind both calves, or you like gable? Does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter actually. So you want to be behind the knees. All right. If you're behind the thighs, when you try to pick them up, you're going to have a lot of weight. So you want to be behind the knees, because the knees you can pick up high and the weight falls over that. If you're behind the calves, they're not going to be able to sprawl as well, but it's going to be harder to pick them up. So the best place for you to be as you drop is right behind the bend of the knee. Okay? Here. Here's the calves, here's the bend of the knee, here's the thigh. If I'm behind the thigh, he can sprawl. All right? If I'm behind the calves, he actually has a hard time sprawling, but it's hard for me to pick him up. So behind the knees here. If you're going to go for the ankle drop, you can lower a little bit. Okay, so here, step, you ready?
Yeah.
Thank you, Willis.
Okay. All right, so context, let's close this out. We got someone coming after us. First of all, we got to realize, all right, that person's coming towards me. I better get ready. How do I get ready? Nice and chalantly, I'm changing to a staggered stance. I'm getting my hands ready. And I'm going through evaluating what the situation is. I make my decision, I'm going to go for the takedown. All right, so I come forward, I drop down, I come forward and I drive. Have my two options. All right. Now, if we happen to attach and he's got me gripped up now, this is a whole nother game. All right, so again, this is from no grips. All right, no grips. So I want to hear from 3 people takeaways from the class. And after that, we'll go into our breathing and we can close it out. Takeaways. What'd you get? What'd you understand? Your big ahas?
Hey, Kevin, just a quick question. You mentioned when your opponent tries to grab you and gets a hold of you, forget it, that's off. Can you, or should you, look to drop and penetrate when he reaches for that? Like just pop the hands up or down and shoot in?
Yes, definitely. So again, that's before he grabs you.
Yeah. As he's reaching.
Yeah, as he's going to grab you, is you're going to take advantage of that. But if he does get his hand on you, that goes all out the window. But guess what? Once you release from him and you have separation, you're back in this same thing once again. So one of the things I coach to newer white belts that are competing is how to break grips, separate, and when they re-engage, do this all over again. So recognize that whenever you have the chance to disengage and re-engage, this opportunity is there for you. And you can use that. So now we're going to, obviously we're teaching 2 things here, the newer students. We're teaching self-defense scenarios, but we're also teaching the game of jiu-jitsu and how to play that game. And that's a little bit different because if you're playing a game of jiu-jitsu, there's no striking involved. So once you engage, you have your grips, now you're doing grip play. And that's something that we're going to be going over the next couple of weeks is exactly that, grip play, how to grip, how not to grip, how to get out of grips. All right, takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, to me, 2 big ones, the distance management, which is always important. And then, I know I've got to do that level drop, but when I'm live, I always do the airplane. My body just dive bombs into them.
Yeah.
And so I think, I was just practicing when I was pushing the kids in the swing earlier. I think just drilling that is going to be really important so that I get my body used to it.
And that's right. So the way that you drill that is you're gonna step, and I want you to drop down, and I want you to use your hands to touch. By touching here, you'll know that your posture's up. Look, my posture's bad touching here. I have to. The other thing is you want to make sure you keep your chin level to the mat. So this is what it looks like. So the way that you drill this is you step. Watch my hands. I step towards, step, drop, all right, and come up. Step, drop, come up. Step, drop. Step, drop. Step, drop. You have to get your hands involved because that's what's going to have him reaching for you. All right, here we go. Back, back, back. Step, drop. Look, do you see how he almost falls over in that? You fall into that little pocket. So this is another drill. Here, boom. Here, boom. Here, boom. Here, boom. That's a nice drill. Here's another good one for you. Step, drop, drive. Other side. Step, drop, drive. Step, drop, drive. All right. Give a couple words. Come back in a second.
Yeah, so as you can tell, this is a good workout. And just like everything else, guys, it takes repetition.
If I suddenly disappear, my battery ran out. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. And are there any questions? I know we covered it, but another chance to answer questions.
The biggest thing about this is having faith. Having faith that it's going to work. It's like I used this in a competition once. It was a little sloppy, but I had to have faith that dropping down to my knee and going forward was going to work. And I did it in New York, and it worked.
Yeah.
I learned it.
Nice.
But it was scary. It was very, very scary doing it.
All right, guys. I'm going to close it out, and we're going to do a little bit of breathing. But what I'd like you to try over the next week, whenever you're doing any type of physical exercise, I would like you to try making sure you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose the entire time. All right? I'm reading a lot about breathing lately, and one of the things that there's a lot of ancient cultures that spent a lot of time teaching their youth how not to mouth breathe, how to nose breathe. Because when you nose breathe, you're going through your brain, you're connecting with a lot of other emotions. When you're mouth breathing, it's a much shorter breath. So a lot of ancient cultures, the nose breathing was associated with health, vibrance, mouth breathing associated with death and being in ill health. And most of us as Americans, even if I did a lot of yoga and I didn't even really break the breath down that much, but if you look at some of the yoga breathing, there's a lot of very specific different ways to breathe. I mean, one of the old Tibetans said, there's just as many foods on the planet as there are ways to breathe. And that was pretty profound for me because most people think, oh, you just breathe, right? And breathing through your mouth or through your nose is no different. But there's been studies where people have closed their nose and just breathed through their mouth. And within a short period of time, sleep apnea, snoring, anxiety, ADHD, all sorts of stuff. So what I'd like for you guys to do is practice breathing through your nose and notice how you feel with that. And if you can also lengthen your breath. Now, interestingly enough, the breathing that I'm going to do with you tonight is actually through the mouth. And the reason for that is because this particular breathing by Wim Hof is meant to stress your system. So like you're using your muscles, right? You're working your muscles to stress them, they get bigger. So he's using this mouth breathing to actually cause stress in your body and create alertness. And then after, he's using the breath hold to calm it down. So it's that maximum effort on each side is what creates this a little bit of a practice for the lungs. But it's not something that you want to do long term. breathing in through the nose, the 25,000 breaths that you take a day or whatever that is. Try to do that through your mouth a little more, and I think you'll have some more calming life. All right, here we go, guys. So find a nice little spot for yourself, and we'll do some of this breathing.
Of your body. Hi guys, welcome. This is a guided breathing session. Relax to the deepest. Lie down, sit down, whatever it takes. Relax. Are you ready? Here we go. Round number 1.
So in through the mouth, out through the mouth for this one.
Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Go with the flow of the breath.
In through the mouth, out through the mouth for this one.
In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Pulling in and letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. More. Pulling in, letting go. Five more. Let's give it all we got. Last one. Pull in and let go. All right.
All the way out, all the way out, and
Breath
hold.
hold from now on. Be in this moment. Let the body do what the body is capable of doing. Be aware of your heartbeat. Slow it down and just be in this moment. Let that relaxation spread down to your toes, into your fingertips, to the base of your neck and head. You are almost there. Do you want to prolong your breath hold? Pause the video now and continue when you feel the urge to breathe. Okay, recovery breath in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in and hold for 15 seconds. Exhale in 3, 2, 1.
One more round, guys. One more round.
Round number 2. Back into that rhythm. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. In, out, in, out, in, out, into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Pull in and letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. In with peace, out with stress. More. Pulling in, letting go. Nice, deep, circular breaths. Five more. Let's give it all we got. last one. Fully in. And on the exhale, stop. 1.5 minute breath hold from now on. Feel. Become aware of your body. If your hands and feet are tingling, or you feel your body temperature is changing, that's okay. You're doing fantastic. If you need to breathe before I give the cue, that's okay. You are almost there. Do you want to prolong your breath hold? Pause the video now and continue when you feel the urge to breathe. When you are ready, fully in and hold for 15 seconds. Exhale in 3, 2, 1. Let it go.
Okay, guys.
Round number 3.
Start to breathe in a little
Back into
regularly.
that rhythm.
Now let's finish with this, okay? Stay with me for the last 3 breaths. We're going to go in through the nose on the count of 6 or 8 and out through the nose in the count of 10. Okay, follow my hands. Ready? In through the nose. Out through the nose. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Last one. Into the nose. Out through the nose. Nice, nice. Nice, guys. You feel it slow down at the end once you start doing the nose breathing? Parasympathetic, calm your brain. All right, let's close it out with gratefulness.